boy.
Let me land. Let me land. Let me land. Let me land. Please, let me land. No, I'm saying, at what point did you guys decide, okay, ish, these things aren't working out? Was it something that happened, or was it just like, hey, we've outgrown each other? Gishap.
I was actually the one that left the group. I was the one that posted that statement that, I'm out in TC, you know. And it was really just based on personal things that were happening at that time.
Okay.
JazziDisciples was moving, man.
Yeah.
It was moving. And if it wasn't for these things, I think we would have still been together.
Alrighty then.
You're the only one who gets coffee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Krenda, man.
I've got a rider, okay? I've got a hospitality rider, please. Guys, production, something, man, please.
He's gonna big Zulu us. Like,
what's going on? It's called the Shady PHodcast, another episode. We have a legendary guest in the building, but of course, my name is Shady. He is podcast.
You know. Call me podcast with a PH.
What's going on, my dude?
You're nice, my dude.
The
sharp,
best.
Sharp.
Right?
No, that production rider needs to be looked at. Josiah Josiah De Disciple. I like that PH described you as a legend because you've been in Amapiano for more than 3 years with grootman.
Why live a little more than 3 years? It's been actually longer than that.
No,
like from
20
something, 2000 and something.
Yes, but I get the lifespan of piano songs is 6 months. So anything longer
if you make it longer than a season, so you can be relevant for the December season.
Why the majority careers are 3 years? Ladies peanuts every 6 months.
Oh, my brother. It's 3 months. 6 months is actually very long.
Dude, you're being generous.
Yeah,
it's usually a season. How about that December season like GrooverCon? You big for that season, or you big for Easter, or you big for Youth Day, or you big for spring.
So you guys are saying Joalabam is gonna die like now.
We didn't mention a song, Chief.
We didn't mention a song.
But since you did say, the coffee because it ain't Joalabam right now.
Let's talk in June. I hope not.
Let's talk in June.
Obviously, the song's gonna die because the song will not die, but the song gets old. I hope that the dudes don't die. I hope when they hit your back up.
Definitely.
You know the story, man. What is the reason for that? Is it because you're from Alex Mapiano?
No, actually, I think that's a great question, and maybe let's take it back to the different sounds of Amapiano, because what we're consuming today is not what I know this guy for. You know, I know these guys. Canal for like the church organ sound. I forgot the salon, but I always used to hear this sound, and there was that ooh ooh ooh. You know when there was about to be like not a break. It used to be like this sound that you guys use.
So we took it was a Vox. We used to like play around it, create effect to introduce like the next coming
sound. Yes.
But nobody Vox. It's a pie. I think back in the days, there's one that I introduced, which was ooh.
Yes.
You know, and nearly take my sound there for quite a long time. And I mean, that was when piano was still like piano. The keys fell.
What do you mean piano when it was piano?
Because right now, I mean, the peanuts are not is like vocal songs. You know, it's very minimal songs where you actually get like the instrumentals and the violin, or where people just really jamming.
Where you can hear someone is actually playing the key.
Like if you look at Rona is machita piano, we've deviated from the essence of piano.
Well, let's start with the name Amapiano.
Can't give away.
You know, but look, obviously things evolve, so we can never hold a sound or anything to what it was 10 years ago. Things do need to change, you know. But I guess we'll go into what's your take on Amapiano now, you know, versus I want to get into the story of who you are first before we get into the semantics and the stuff of the game.
Before we get into the talking shit about
about the longevity of songs.
But talk to us. When you from Alex, right?
Yeah, it's Komora.
Gomorrah, right? I haven't now. Long ago I used to party in Alex. There used to be Stoop 22.
Oh yeah, Stoop 15.
Stoop 15.
15. Nigga, I don't know about 22.
I'm thinking House 22. Sorry, in my mind.
No stress.
Stoop 15. Stoop 15. Is it still Stoop?
Yeah, there's still Stoop. But
There's still Joe's Butch.
Yeah, those places are still there.
Still there. Yeah.
But obviously the impact has
changed.
Yeah, it has changed.
Where did you come up, Kokomor?
Kokomora, ke goletse ko Kasi, but gore ke DJ ke tsibiwa. There was a place called Heritage Corner.
Heritage Corner. Fuck, I also know Heritage Corner.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the place where I actually established myself, and not as Josiah De Disciple. I established myself as DJ Jaws that time.
Jaws.
Yeah, JOZZ.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was about to say Jaws the hip hop.
But also, it's actually the same Ntweno. Jaws wako
Sure.
FM that time. Ke yona ntwe entseng gore why is it like let me change my name, because obviously Jaws o mongwe mogolo na sale teng.
Yes.
No. Lina ngasbe Jaws o munyane wa mokasi. So I had to actually go about ke batlana le lebiso laka, which actually took quite some time, to be honest.
Why the disciple? Disciple of what?
Of music. Disciple
He's
of
about the game. He's about it. That's what he is. He's about it. So
That's what informed the name. No, but carry on.
Yeah, so I think but Kuka is Khurbantsibe. Nearly Nakota Heritage Corner. Joe's Butcher was still big back then, but we'd obviously go there to watch what DJ Shimza do their thing. Black Coffee was like a resident there.
Sure.
So Nerimonaboma every Sunday,
Libra Willy.
Yeah, Libra Willy. So what's it? Take some inspiration. Bonabo Shimza, but Shapaka effect. Sure. So when I kupuga Heritage Corner, we are only inspired to
Sure.
So it was actually one of the things that actually made me build my name go LX.
Okay.
And then but production I think very kigeni boma 2010, 11.
Sure.
But yeah, production I think yes no hope better then.
What were you playing then?
Negidlala deep house tribal.
Okay.
I mean kidi era tse letsa botulo.
Yes.
Ne ba shapa number
Sure.
So yeah, negidlala bomba soulful house.
Okay.
Kidlala deep house. But sound ne ki rata ki tribal house.
Okay.
Negrata tribal house. But in terms of production, it was a bit difficult to
What
do
did you
from.
start producing?
I started producing with Naked's Soulful House.
Okay.
On Fruity Loops.
Yeah, on Fruity Loops. That was actually the first software that I got, Fruity Loops. I tried
the first
Reason.
software everyone played.
I tried Reason, but it looks
complicated. Complicated.
Hey, Kara, wait, let me just go back to Fruity. So, when Tuesday and go Fruity. There's those demo songs you find on Fruity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the stock.
Sure.
The stock music.
When I'm on
Sure.
Hey, bon. No, I also played with Fruity Loops, but I just gave up.
Like most
Don't
people.
be like me. No, like I felt like you start DJing.
It's got its people.
Yes, you start DJing, you playing, and then it's like, I better learn production.
Yeah,
Sure. What are you using?
It was
Fruity
actually
Loops.
it was exactly like that for me.
That was the pressure to be like if you're
have to.
DJing, you have to
Yes,
produce as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, how sure about the likes of Bob Black Coffee back then? Right, you'd enjoy them playing their own songs.
Yes.
Yes.
So that like it incasits writing on honest. It's like Lina Kai Batla writing.
Sure.
I wanna have that feeling when you're on stage playing your own songs and people just cheering,
Yes, because they know them.
Yeah. So about Nakara, you know what? I'm actually gonna try this. Hey, but obviously production at first, I got those demo songs. So in 20 I just copy like let's say kick by
Sure.
So I'd obviously open the demo song, okay, and then go back to my song.
Sure.
But yeah, it was more of a thing of like really just copying and pasting because you're trying to see how these things work. And key, clap, it
reminds me of one of those. I think when you're starting out producing, it's like you're using everything possible.
Yeah.
Like in front of you. So every element.
You must know what it is.
It's like when you go to your friends, hey, Chance, China, it's like,
bro,
But it's electro.
it was exactly like that for me. And I mean, the also on the chords. I mean, it was difficult at that time.
Sure.
No, what one thing we are lucky about now is that Fruity Loops has made it easier for producers. You can even make music without having a keyboard. There's things that
on your keyboard.
On your keyboard, you just press one button, you unload the chords. They have made it easier like that. But back then, you had to draw those chords. You had to. We mamele pina kurkhotu we mamele urkiona. Alright.
And then test it.
Yeah, test it. And then you just give up on that one chord.
Requires people who are passionate about that.
Yes, and patience. I think because you didn't study production.
Yeah.
You didn't go to school for it. And I think, we're talking about it now, how in theory, it's like, okay, I can DJ, let me go and produce. It's really hard. It's time consuming. You've got to spend time pressing different keys. Hey, dude, a lot of people, I don't have the patience for that. Another guy that doesn't have the patience for that is Euphonic.
Why women are so timber? Come on.
No, I mean, because something interesting that you mentioned as well is how the process has been shortened. You've got a shortcut now on Fruity Loops.
Yeah,
sure.
Where you don't have to learn all that shit, dog.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through all that time consuming. You just beep, beep, beep.
Sure.
Right? And you could come up with a hit.
Yeah.
Another example is like what you were saying about Alex. That Sunday with Shimza, Black Coffee.
Sure.
Do you know the equipment you'd play on there?
CDJ 100.
CDJ 100, and then when they upgraded to USB 350s.
Oh, yeah.
But fucked up 350s.
Sure.
Jog wheel didn't work.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
Well,
that's
still the same now. Still the same now in most places.
But you know the story. Like it was an institution chose on a Sunday. The whole street corner was packed.
Packed.
Not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
inside,
yeah.
outside as well. And people
Sure.
came there to listen. Shimza used to play like 2-3 hours.
Sure.
Black Coffee would come and play like 2-3
definitely.
hours.
Those guys
yeah,
would
yeah.
rock from like 5 o'clock
My man.
until by
Well, not nowadays.
8, 9.
But
No, nowadays you pull up 1 hour, you out.
Women in tech can wake up tomorrow and want to start DJing
Oh, man.
and will have a career by the end of the month. Rocking.
Women in tech can become women in DJ.
A woman in DJing, she'll wake
She-
up now.
you
Something
can
wrong.
become
hold
woman
on,
in production.
Take that thing wrong. Take that thing back.
What
This
thing?
thing of women in DJing. Let's not think people
No,
can DJ.
man.
Hey, they'll have us for lunch.
Everybody
Anyway.
can DJ. Everybody has the right to
Dango.
DJ. But I think you're right. Women in tech can wake up tomorrow and become woman the disciple.
Yes. Yes.
And,
No, because I wanted to jump in while you were talking about. I never want to glamorize. I never want to glamorize struggle. It's like, but part of the process of struggling to, get something like how you struggle to get the right chord or get the right kind of sound. Is that you were equipping yourself for the future. Nowadays, it's like you land, everything's done for you. Like you said on Fruity Loops, all you're doing is now pattern, I have a song. And it speaks to the lack of longevity of a lot of things today. Like there's no process that people are following. You wake up tomorrow, I want to be a producer. Okay, cool. Download the latest samples, download the latest packs. And, I've got a song out there and it's usually garbage. And I don't say garbage, but...
not garbage, but you can hear that it was put together
Yes.
from a pack.
I think nowadays, because it even speaks to what you were saying about the institution of how guys would play for 2 hours, songs you don't know. It's banging. The consumer is there to listen to music that they don't know. Nowadays, it's just literally bubblegum. And if we don't know it,
Not interested.
there's less of an impact. Or if it's not as cheesy as it's sounding like the next song, it's like, okay, when's the next song that I know?
We go get a drink.
Yeah, it just speaks to but we'll get to the sad state of I think music consumption and that stuff. But I want to carry on with your journey.
Yeah, so nakwekinzi shapanthotsakara ko heritage corner mfethu. Yeah, I mean it came to a point where Lina nesekbono hore like this thing is really getting serious. I was getting bookings go gas. It was no longer heritage corner alone. It was like other events, other guys like Botemba's Kawash.
Sure.
Was 2.5.
Yeah. Also that,
My place.
Sorry, I share that thing on a Monday.
Mukhodu Mondays.
Was I tune?
This a little, but
man.
that's why it has changed from back then to now. Right now,
Everyone offers.
Yeah, a little not good. So
Sharp.
Yeah, support ele ya kgale ele.
I still
It
have
has
the
changed. It
guy's
has changed.
number. I was just checking.
Maurice.
No, I was just checking.
Oh
In
yeah,
case I said
Morris.
something wrong.
Yeah,
Morris.
yeah. Basalida machita saspana. Kurunje harbu di nitivele. I mean, Barking. Yeah, I mean, dilo di change. Things have changed. Things have changed.
Piano obviously became later because you said you were doing tribal house, you were
Soulful
doing-
house and
Yeah.
tribal house, yeah.
and deep house. When did you start playing with piano music?
2013, 2014.
Sure.
I played around it. Also, Neseki Utrile Koma Chitembarki M4 Souls.
MFR,
Those
yeah.
were like
Right.
the originators of the sound.
My man.
Okay, I
Those
was about
guys-
to ask for
those
someone
guys-
who obviously this debate has always happened,
Yeah.
but on who started that sound and where did it come from? The East, Pretoria, was it MFR?
Why? Earlier I was going to jump in and say MFR. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Sound Amapiano, Ichileka MFR Souls. MFR Souls is from the East.
Sure.
So we can just comfortably say
From the
that
East,
the
right?
sound is from the East.
Zwileke
right?
Makaya, women in Tekya Chavula.
well, according to Josiah The Disciple.
Well, he's part of the guys
Yes,
of the originators of the
yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
bruh,
hard.
me, I completely agree. Like,
Sure.
according to me, because
Sure.
I'll tell you, MFR Souls, the first time I heard of these guys, I used to do these events with another guy named JT in Aldos. Used to be colored.
Yeah.
They
Once
were
upon a time.
called Meets Aldos, right?
Yes.
And this boy, he was actually a graphic designer. He used to make all our flyers and stuff, right, for events. And he was like, bruh, I really want to do an event. There's this spot in the Kasi there in Aldos. We're going to use this venue and we're going to we need you so that you can bring people that like we can't book, yabo? Like Shimza and Prince KB. These are the oaks that we started with. At the time, it was also Kalo.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, cool. This is later. This isn't, I think this is like 2014, 15, somewhere there. Right? We did Shimza, it rocked. We did Prince KB, it rocked. No problem. We did Kalo, fire. Then he was like, there was no one available. I can't remember who he asked me to speak to, but the person wasn't available. And he was like, nah, man, I want to do these guys, MFR Souls. And I, coming from the cheese market, I was like, who the fuck is MFR Souls, dog? Like there's money being put into this event. We can't afford to just book J, Abangan Bar, type of thing. And he was like, no, trust me. you know?
Oh, yeah.
My man, we booked MFR Souls. I didn't know who they were. These guys pulled up there. I swear, if there was 2,000 people inside the venue, there was 4,000 people outside the venue.
Yes.
It was packed. I couldn't even get in.
Sure.
I'm pulling up there. I'm like, what the fuck? Who are these guys? They came there, most chilled oaks. They played like 2 hours of, for me, a sound that I wasn't used to because it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't commercial. Like you said, the commercialization.
Sure.
But these are the type of numbers MFR Souls was pulling. And this is like back then, dog. So I feel like they are the grootmans of this thing.
No, they definitely are. I mean,
Because I don't know. Oh,
No, but I
you're not allowed to touch the mic.
I've touched the mic 5 times.
they definitely are because of Harkala Chain, they had mixtapes out already.
Yes,
Full
yes,
of piano sounds and etc, And I mean, let me just say, full of their production,
And their live stuff, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, came there live, my man, with keyboard.
Yeah, they used to conjure this
who's
guy's
that guy?
Moscow.
Yes,
Moscow.
yes,
They
yes,
used
yes,
to go
yes.
around with Moscow a lot, actually. We were no Hopelan Totsahale.
Hey, poison.
Sure.
So yeah, Machitalim Fetu Linna Horkitakanelbona, they were gigging in Alex, a place called Ruben.
Yes.
Luckily they had already heard some of my stuff. I was trying this piano thing, but obviously Linna Kweki switcher from tribal house to piano.
Sure.
Obviously I was using
Those
the
those
wrong
elements.
pegs, using
Yeah.
the wrong kicks and
Sure,
stuff,
sure.
But there's a couple of songs that I did,
Okay.
and I sent it to them.
Sure.
And the guys were like, "Yo, no, this is hot actually, bro. So come by, let's have a session,
Sure.
And for me, that's when it all started. I feel like, okay, these guys are honoring me into this movement now.
Yeah.
Dope.
Hey, okay, I know. I'm a piano producer.
Leave this
Yeah, leave this tribal thing. I know, And yeah, I mean, it was really fascinating to see because, coming from a tribal soulful background, we use the hard knocking kicks, but those guys were using like the softer kicks, and that's when
It's very musical.
Yeah, okay, Musi difference, and you can literally feel it. We'd sit down, maybe make a remake of a soulful house. It would sound the same, but the only difference was that the
Those
kick,
elements,
the claps, they were much softer.
Sure.
The bass, we used a much more lighter bass called tube bass.
Sure.
And that was like the bass that would define like if a song is Amapiano or what,
Or not,
you know,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like those were the main instruments at
Sure.
that time. Libo,
yeah.
you know. So Kito are just the few elements that used to describe, okay, I know this one is a piano song coming
This
in,
is
you know.
2014, 2015?
2015.
Okay, sure.
2014, 2015, Kopanal Machita. And we've been rocking sessions together ever since. While I was meeting them, that's when I also started working with Kabza.
Sure.
How I met Kabza, I met Kabza first and then I met MFR Souls. But how I met Kabza was that we were both doing tribal back then.
Sure.
You know.
He was in MP, ne? No, where was he at the time?
When I met
he
him, he was in Alex.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But didn't he come from somewhere else before? No.
Everyone comes from somewhere.
No, but I just remember hearing a story that he was not an outsider, but like then came into the scene.
Yeah, because I mean, truly speaking, also Lina, I mean, those years Lina
Sure.
so I would believe, or maybe before I fitla ko Alex,
Sure.
kunan mo na thing, then I fitla mo Alex.
Sure.
So ra kopana, but I mean, we were mainly producing tribal house at that time,
Sure.
so we both liked each other's styles and music, and we're like, okay, no, hey man, this guy is hard, yeah, fire. So we tried doing sessions together, and but obviously, Haser Kenagodi sessioning, piano was taking over.
Sure,
We
was
did our first
coming up,
we did our first piano song. It was also an instrumental. Those piano days,
Sure.
Yeah, and the DJs were going mad about it, you know. And I mean, for me, these were like, yeah, these were like one of the things giving me affirmation that piano so
We're
okay,
moving
you know,
now, yeah.
no gain more piano. And we pushed this movement really about my 4-5. That's
Sure.
when Bokaba, Lokshin Deep
Yes.
now started coming in, you know. And not to take away anything from Pretoria, but
Sure.
sounding neli grot gagolo ko Pretoria back then was Bacardi. Like every
Bacardi,
time
yeah.
we'd get gigs, gotta go Pretoria.
That would
You
be
get
the sound
there,
they
they're
want.
rocking. Yeah, like now we're speaking when you go inside the hood in Pretoria. They're rocking Bacardi left, right, and center. We coming with this piano sound, you know.
Sure.
It was never a challenge and because of
Sure.
and I think in Tongo Neyenze easy for us. It's guys like Kelvin Fallo.
Follow, yes.
Yeah, he did his broken beat, and it was more of a soulful but broken. So how do you mix a piano? Need smooth transition. So that's why khubal argument ya vele machita ko Pitori. Bona ba iqadile piano, yeah, you know.
So
But
now-
you know
so-
different.
Yeah, I know. No.
I remember my first folder I was doing, I think it was the Costlight, one of the Costlight. I was doing Costlight activations.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing this. I'd heard the sound, and like I said, in the barbershops. I don't know where I came across I think there was a guy playing, it was in the South somewhere. I was playing at an activation. And I'm like, Dang, what's the sound? Anka, e folder. Ne? And at the time, the BPM of the songs was like at 118, 119. And I remember there was a popular remix called KB Flavor. This is like 2018. Yeah. But the names you just mentioned now, that folder was just filled with, it was you, Gaba, MFR, Konje, who's this guy? Calvin Farlow.
Yeah.
Who else? And I think, Kabza. Yeah, those were the names for about 4 folders only, you know? And I was like, this thing is so dope. But, you know, at the time, the sound that was being consumed was like at 125 BPM.
Yeah.
It was a totally different
It
sound.
was like the Gqom era. Then.
Yeah. Well, even before. But what I wanted to get at was you spoke of House 22 and you spoke obviously for me there was like a deep house maker. You know, like if you are playing at House 22, you need to know your story.
Yeah.
And as one Massimo, we don't want to
Keep
anything commercial
on
there, you know. So I would always confuse piano because of the deep elements, you know, the deep elements and obviously like the deep elements and then it borrowing from deep house. I thought that's why Pretoria had an influence on that sound, but also a lot of. Would you be at the time able to play at House 22 or not?
Not at the time with my piano music.
Sure.
No, definitely not at the time. Because I mean, we were also having our own quarrels as deep house and piano pros. You know, when those guys listen to our music, they used to say, "I Lunal Zalan 21."
Yes.
It all sounds the same.
Yeah, they say, you guys songs, you guys are playing the same things.
thing, yes.
One song for 1 hour.
For 1
you know?
hour, yeah.
So it used to be like those kind of challenges because obviously if the deep house heads are saying that news travel
Sure.
So other places that play deep house will not want to do anything with this type of sound, you know.
Sure.
But we were fortunate that the people in the townships, people who were really celebrating music, they didn't care who
with-
like deep house or
Yes,
DJ
yes.
politics.
Once you
You
start
know?
talking like that, it's almost like the conversation becomes too technical for the consumer.
Yeah.
People can still appreciate, like in other words, if you come and you like people will pick it up, you know, when you DJing.
Yeah.
But people just want to come through and have a good time. And if the sound works, the sound works. I can come as a music head there, deep house, grootman, and I can be like, this is rubbish. It's the same song playing for 1 hour. But the people say different, yeah, and the way they respond to that sound.
And adding on to that, I mean, it became difficult for deep house guys to come and play in the hood after that.
Because they wanted the
Because they
sound.
wanted
Yeah,
the
because
sound.
of kokasi I nesabanyaka scoop mfit. So it's like you are my I
Sure. I want to find out now. At what point did you guys, as a community, a piano, say, okay, cool, hey, we're growing now? Like, what year was this? This is what 2018, 2017.
And who started the WhatsApp group?
To be honest, our WhatsApp group was started by the fans, people who were collecting music, honestly, because of they wanted to exchange these sounds. Us as the people who were producing the music, we used to just exchange amongst ourselves, you know. But we forgot that obviously this sound is moving. People wanted the sound in the street, so we'd only also make it available to the DJs. Bostoki, Bostokes, Bokachmen, guys from LX or Soweto, you know, that actually come and buy the music from us. And we used to sell CDs
at the time, yeah.
MP3, let's see stuff fella.
With how many tracks on?
You know, MP3 is like 100 and something.
You could, if you didn't put it in a disc, it was like an MP3. So you have
it's just
multiple
songs like that.
Yeah,
you know.
sure. What was that white? What is that white CD?
Prinko.
Was it Prinko?
Yeah, there's a
Prinko,
Yes.
And you could buy them in a pack of like
Yeah,
100.
Only
Yes.
one. It's a plain
Yes,
wine.
plain
Yeah, and
wine.
write them. Yeah, I mean, we used to have that as
I
well.
had a Slapper 600 back in the day. So there was, you know, the Slapper.
Yes.
So
I
there
had a
was the-
Channel O one.
Oh, I'm
Remember? No,
sorry.
they were free. Didn't you get one?
No.
I had a Channel O one and Soul
Yeah,
Candy
Prinko.
one.
That's the one you could write on top of. In
It
carry
came
on.
in a spindle.
Spindle. There we go.
Spindle.
Yes.
That is what it was called.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, from that point, till much Tanzarlat, I mean, I had a 9 to 5 actually
Oh,
back then.
okay.
So
Where?
there's a company called Kolok. It's still there.
Yeah.
They sell printers, cartridges, you know, that type of
Okay.
stuff.
So you were
I was
getting
like
the-
a sales.
You were getting the
consultant
blank
there.
CDs for free.
Anyways.
straight from the, you know.
Sure.
But I mean, that's how that's how great the sound was. I mean, people fetching you as far mutu au chakela ko spanning khotlola music.
Hey, I need this disc. Yeah.
And I mean, I remember this one time vele Stokes at mfethu Saturday bengukmamele kuphi kuphi mfethu ngila ispanning
this
sakho
song.
ngeza.
Yeah.
Azwakhe utsura wadlala mfethu kamsenela address ethu.
Next
He came. He came, bro. And I was like, what? Kulabona uplomile doing your own thing that work. Reception Josiah mfethu. Someone is looking for you downstairs. I went down. Stocks. Oh, okay.
God,
I
God.
did that CD for him quick right there at work, and I gave him. He gave me the cash, and I mean, people were really willing to travel just exclusively for that
those
music.
exclusives.
And I mean, the big thing back then was having those exclusives.
Sure.
That was like the big
Sure,
thing.
sure.
If Kaukaya something, you don't want any other DJ playing.
having it, yeah.
So that's why people actually paid for those
to get it.
songs.
But now those exclusives, they were literally only available in hard copy.
Yeah.
In other words, guys were not putting the shit on the internet.
There was no
There was no leaking.
data
I think
file host.
the only thing we went as far as Kiona data file
Data
host.
file host, yeah.
But mostly in Spanisa for like the mixtape.
Yes.
We
yes,
use
yes,
data
yes.
file host for
Media
for
file and
mixtapes.
data file host with the-
WhatsApp.
with the things
I
at the
mean,
time.
we saw that demand yadi peanuts yabatecha. So that's when we were like, okay, cool, let's start giving out people these songs. Especially if maybe peanutting a certain DJ has played it numerous times.
Sure.
That's
It's
when
like,
you can
I can
start
give it to the
leaking it.
streets.
Start
you
flooding
know.
them out.
Sure.
I used to
But-
get a lot of piano songs on WhatsApp actually.
Really?
Dude, people would send, to each other to say, yo, did you hear this new one? MFR Souls. Their shit was all over WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You know?
And from that time, it was mostly instrumentals again. From that time, the vocal, we went so much in vocal songs.
Sure.
But I mean, what pushed us to start recording vocals was the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted stuff with singing.
This is around 2019, eh?
No, prior 2016.
16, 17.
17.
Okay.
16, 17.
What can you? Is there a song that you can maybe make reference to as to what was big at the time?
Sure. It was underground.
Okay.
It was mostly underground songs that time. But I think Gabza had a song called Let Life Be, which had some guy called Arafat. It was like one of the first vocal piano songs that played on FM. And we were so ecstatic. We were like, what? I know we move again now. I know now.
Sure.
First piano song. We didn't even care if like this song belongs to who?
Yes.
For the fact that it was playing on radio.
Gabza.
We were like, you know what? No, that means we're moving. And funny enough, it was not even like those fist kind of songs. It was laid back. Pela,
punching.
Scoop, but it was a really laid back. It has saxophone, you know. So it was a soulful piano song, basically.
Okay, let's. Sorry. I wanted to say, let's fast forward. Obviously now piano's grown. Where does the duo come in? Obviously that you are formerly known to be part of. How did you meet him? And the burning question: where did it all go wrong?
Why did you break up?
Yes, who was?
I was almost piano nentse khafisa batho ra ko kasi. Tumelo kopanile na around those years. I mean, he always knew that I've been. I mean, Josiah piano. I started it, man. My name has always been there, you know.
Sure.
How we actually met. Nerodula ko kasi one ko LX. Obviously the gig ha ba shapa di festivals se grot ko kasi ba re kenya re le bo maitesi go line up wa bona. So I mean, you'd pick ke mang o dlalang piano, who you comfortable with. And prior to that, I've seen Tumelo like so many times. We've probably spoken here and there, so we were like, no, you know what, because we were like playing close. Maybe had like a 7 to 8, 9 to 10, 9 till half past, because it was 30 minutes slots.
Yeah, 30 people on the lineup.
Yeah, my brother.
15 minutes slots.
6 to 6, Baba.
You know what? We came together, we spoke, you know what, let's merge our sets.
Okay.
Because I mean, obviously there's songs that I also want to play.
Sure.
But 30 minutes. And you know, when you're a DJ, you don't just get there, you rock.
Sure.
You have to build your
Warm
set.
them up.
Yeah, you know.
Especially if you're playing the piano of the time. You can't play the thing for 3 minutes.
Sure.
You've got to play it
Yeah,
for
you
like
have
6,
to
7 minutes. You need to let it breathe.
Let it breathe a bit, you know.
Not anymore. Now
Hook in the chorus and out.
No, 30 seconds.
Hook chorus.
Hook chorus. No intro next. Crossfade. What's even, boy? Okay, now come ask it out.
Hey, no hate to anyone who's doing their thing. No hate to anyone who's doing their thing. Please.
No hate to anyone who's doing their thing, but that's how it goes, though.
No hate to anyone who's doing their thing. Shout out to anyone who's trying to get their
Guys are
play.
so sensitive. Hey, you keep doing your thing. Me, I love that. You know I love that.
Yeah.
In private, but on we tell you, my man. We tell you, full sack. I'm joking.
Yeah, so nearly the events as well. And I mean, back then, Go Alexander, we used to have a lot of gigs that were like that.
Sure.
But Shady Festival, my million, go di line up on Rabon or no, you know what? So we tried it a couple of times. I'm sure we tried it 4 or 5 times, and it would work out. You know,
Was it because you were loving a similar sound?
Oh, he was also playing piano. He was DJing
Okay.
piano.
Okay.
But he was a DJ and collector. Let me play it like that because he collected so much music.
Sure.
So obviously, you don't know what's a holy producer. You can't collect all the time because
Don't
you're
have time.
dependent on the fact that I can make this.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
So yeah, nailing to our every time Marcopan okay, Arcopan said he sets around never sharp, I'm fit, never sit, I'm fit. The big man's pants.
It was a problematic name. It was a problematic name.
Yeah, so we were like, you know what? Let's do this more often. You know, because I mean the energies, we were vibing, everything was like cool, you know. And one pro of us actually was the one that, why don't you guys come up with a duo name?
Sure.
We were like, yeah, ne? Okay, yeah, sure.
Sure.
We'll do that. So I mean, Nal Mr. Jazzy, Nane Sigil Josiah De Disciple. Ari.
Yeah.
Yeah, JazziDisciples. We rocked. We went with it. And I mean, it was it was great because of Harto Maricopansa. It was when piano was now starting to
hit.
Yeah, my friend, it was starting to move.
Yeah, that was the time.
It was starting to
like
move.
songs are now
2019?
playing everywhere and stuff.
2018, yeah.
Yes.
It was starting to move. I think, and then I think we were the first group, Libila, and I will say it with my chest, the first duo to drop music independently.
Sure.
Cody, what, Kingy, the platforms there.
DSPs.
Yeah.
DSPs.
I remember that time, Nereberik sang DistroKid. No, it wasn't DistroKid. I forgot what it was, but it was you pay like 750 annually, and then you upload your stuff there. That's where we learned how to body photo shoot, edit, and I mean, the artworks back then, never kupa fella, never kupa motor afite Warras and PH on design something, on design something. You be so album key, your black child, black child, Kenya or another, you know, but. Runa because of the only thing we cared about was making this sound. Yeah, was making this sound available. And for me, I thought it was actually a smart move from us because of piano was still famous. Kodi WhatsApp playing that time, and we were like, no, we have to change how we move now.
Kind of that song that had papers.
Long lasting.
What year was that? 2020, no? No, before.
It was before. It was 2018. I mean, 2018, 2019.
Yes, that song was problematic, dog.
Long lasting.
What is it called?
Long lasting, yes.
It was just an instrumental song. It was actually the first Amapiano music video also.
I was about to say, that was for me, I think, one of the first piano songs that had a music video. But at the time, it's just a collection of guys playing somewhere. It wasn't like a we're on set or whatnot. It's like, hey, okay,
it wasn't
cool.
like a movie.
We're playing at some lounge, we're playing at some whatnot.
Next storyboard.
Yeah.
No move crowd, people just vibing to Amapiano, and that was essentially the lifestyle back then. You know? So when you look at that music video, you see, okay, this is where actually piano. It's a guy, and it got on piano back then. And I mean, fast forwarding to now, we had to chop and change. Obviously, the influx of artists coming singing more piano.
And now it's like the commercialization.
So even, I mean, look, I think one of the first projects was basically instrumentals, the most, or
I think the first 4 projects that we took out were like EPs. And mostly were like instrumentals,
songs. Just beats.
But blew up, dude.
My brother, there was a guy called, there was a song called The Good Guy. There was like it became a banger. It was a banger, and it was also an instrumental song. It's actually a long list, and I think what made us lucky was that we had content together with these songs. So every time we drop a song on social media, we'd have like content of us going to gigs and we're actually one of the first guys to do it in Amapiano. We saw that guy hip hop. Wabona PH da mfethu uvalile mfethu wa camera da wabona dabona wetsa movie muslamano I've been rocking wabona iprekere intwana wabona ke lifestyle
shout out
and remember Vele, it was something that was popular in hip hop, guys going with videographers, you know, and we were like, no ntwana. And it worked out. It worked out.
It became the way you needed to be.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So COVID happens. I remember then you guys, I mean, there was obviously the show Lockdown House Party. From that, I think, what was the song that was big then?
Final Touch.
Final Touch, ne? Was that
2020?
This is 2020, ne? Yeah, this is 2020. We then obviously are allowed to play at places like Moja. But I mean, you guys were playing everywhere. The brand is healthy. The brand is big. You guys have got a few songs out, a few big projects out. When I don't want to say when was the decline, but I started seeing less and less of the name after like 2021. Ne?
After like lockdown level 3.
100 days. When did because people grow as well. People outgrow each other. So I don't want to say that there was something.
Would you say direct?
No, I'm going there. Let me land. Let me land. Let me land. Please, let me land. No, I'm saying at what point did you guys decide, okay, these things aren't working out? Was it something that happened? Or was it just like, hey, we've outgrown each other? Gishap.
I was actually the one that left the group. I was the one that posted that statement that,
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out in TC, you know. And it was really just based on personal things that were happening at that time.
Okay.
JazziDisciples was moving, man.
Yeah.
It was moving, and if it wasn't for these things, I think we would have still been together.
Sure.
You know. But yeah, there were more personal things that were really affecting me.
Okay.
You know what? I can't go on like this.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, you know what?
I'm good.
I'm good. And yeah, when I left, I actually left with every like pants.
He took the laptop.
Yeah.
He took the sound with it. Well, I'll just take the computer.
At least you didn't go to the studio and fuck the whole place up.
No. I wasn't that kind of guy.
Who did that?
Give her a
The fight went this way. And I was like,
maybe different.
There's murmurs of, you know, external voices and hey, go this way, go that way, but some reason
no, some because, yeah, and
hey,
I saw a story with them.
that song that they made.
I actually said at the time when that story came out that he went and he fucked the studio up. The first thing I said, I hope they fix it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's not nice. And I think a lot of the perception is that you guys fought. Yeah, bo? When the music is beautiful, when the duo is killing it, when JazziDisciples is moving, and then it's like, yo, I'm out.
At the
the
peak of
fans
this.
are like, what the fuck?
Sure.
You know, because it's
Yeah.
not like you're out because, like, yeah, bo, it's not working anymore. Maybe you've outgrown each other, and now it's like, let's just go do our own thing. It's actually, we don't even know, because like you said, it's a personal thing.
Sure.
Yeah, bo?
Yeah.
And then I think about my baby born, and they're like,
A lot of people didn't really take that well, you know. And obviously, right after the split, there were comparisons already. We'll see what's working.
What not.
We'll see who's got the laptop.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, those were one of the things that also got to me as a producer, because I mean, I've been pushing this thing for quite a while. Today, I'll start who sat
on the chair longest? And said, who sat on the chair longest?
You know?
Actually.
But yeah, I mean, going back to the split, I mean, looking at all those things that we were achieving, we were the first guys to play first piano guys to play at Music is King, you know.
Sure.
And that was like something big.
Yeah.
For Black Coffee to trust us with that big stage. Bro, that night was amazing, bro. I was playing the drums actually on that day. Yeah, it was amazing. Another big thing that we did as JazziDisciples was Afropunk. The first piano bros.
Yeah.
Afropunk. Anyway,
Was this the New Year's edition or the one that was in December? It was in December.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was in December.
Yeah.
It was nice. I mean, those were like the signs that you know what, piano is moving, bro.
But by then
it's
it was
going somewhere.
By then it had everyone on chokehold, bro.
The momentum was crazy.
Yeah, it was
because everybody,
crazy. It was crazy.
the names that we know,
Sure.
was doing really well.
But the sound to what he'd spoken about had now shifted. There was the introduction of the log drum. There was
It was vocals.
JazziDisciples they feature. Log drum ne se lite.
Yeah.
Log
Shout
drum
out
and
to-
se shapa and shout out to him because
shout
he
out
like
to-
found it when we were like, okay, we are just doing this piano,
Organ
we
thing.
adding these things and this is what's piano, you know. Mtu just came out of nowhere and said, I will add this thing. And it really changed.
Escalated the sound, yeah.
It changed the sound.
Sure.
We also heard piano differently after
Sure.
that. We like, I know look Tramir Kenya everywhere.
Sure.
So are you still friends? Or really, or not at all?
We don't talk.
At all. So it was a bit of a rough split again. Or was he upset that you were going through something? Maybe it was like, bruh,
I'm not understanding what's
I'm
going
not
on.
understanding.
We're moving.
Let me be real.
Laptop.
Let me be real. Let me be honest. When I posted the statement, we never spoke. Oguti,
prior.
what's really going on?
Okay.
Why are you doing this? It's easy. Like no one came to. We never like arakopana.
Sure.
No,
Nakavaya.
yeah. Ntwana maybe ke ntshwere ka ilukisa
Sharp.
no. Omong lo mong trainee vele ya qhubeka.
But Josiah, what do you mean? How did you just do? Bruh, PH, as to say, I'm leaving the Shady podcast, and I see it on a statement, I'll be upset, guys.
You'll bring your friends to my house.
No, I'll be like, what the fuck? I'll phone
friends
you
with
and I'll be
tattoos.
like, no, I'll be like, PH, what is wrong with you,
We'll
bro?
bring
You're
your
the
friends with
PE
tattoos.
partner. We need a black oak.
You know what I mean? Black guy like me.
No, but Amiti, you guys, you bras, you understand?
Sure.
So when you say that nothing was even discussed, Wavelenje wakipa his statement, why?
That's why I can show Guti. By the time Foot Noguti released the statement,
You were done already.
I was done. Yeah, I was done.
Or you weren't even taking his call.
No, we'd speak in etc. But I mean, emotionally, you know, when you emotionally
Checked out.
down with something,
You checked out,
my
yeah.
brother, there's nothing that can change your mind.
Sure.
You know, and I was at that point as well. I just put out the statement. I waited a few minutes in the group just to see if someone was gonna say anything. Everyone was like quiet. I was like, okay,
Sharp.
Aye.
Not into
Out.
it.
out.
Josiah's left the
I got out.
Okay, that's. I want to say that's fair, but also
don't think it's
hold
fair. I
on,
don't wanna
hold on,
lie, since
hold
we're being
on, hold
honest.
on.
I don't think it's fair, Brian.
but also unfair to everyone else you're working with. You know, at least give me a heads up, Ndanga. Hey, you know, this is how I feel about about us.
No, that's true because of also on that show that I
But
I
answer
told you
your phone.
about. No,
Answer
so-
your phone.
No. You see who's phoning
Answer your phone. Okay, no, don't answer. That's fine. Whoops.
Yeah,
Apologies.
Barking. Show earlier on, there's a show that I was on Barking in Pilo
Bilo piano.
Yeah. I also did really mention Hori. I felt like we could have handled the situation better. I mean, now that I've gone through whatever I've gone through, I'm a man. You understand situations.
Sure.
Some situations you really have to sit down and talk about them. You know. And yeah, I also think that maybe at that time that could have changed.
Yeah.
Maybe sitting
Could have done
down
it different,
together,
yeah.
it could have done a difference. You know. But I mean, it is what it is. We here now.
Shout out.
I like that. I was gonna say I don't think it's fair, but like life isn't fair. You made a choice for yourself, but I like what you said now, man.
Sure.
Is that like, you know, with the gift of hindsight, maybe
Yeah,
it could
yeah,
have been handled because my man JazziDisciples was a fucking was a thing.
So there's no.
It's like you took something away from all of us. We am
Yeah,
talked.
you know what? To be honest, like I can still see it even in the industry, bro.
Sure.
Like, yeah, no, JazziDisciples, how I want to.
Man, it was
It
fire.
left that big
Go.
hole, right? It really did.
It's fire. Would there be any chance of?
No.
Wow.
Let's not go there.
Let's
not go there.
You said, let me be honest. I appreciate that you being
Nope.
honest. But look, honestly, I don't think there's a need for you to go back. I'm saying
like
at the
going back to
time,
a toxic ex.
being young told, it was, my man, it was an institution. It
Yeah,
was
it
a
was.
movement.
It was a movement.
So I feel like if it could have been handled better, like you say, it wasn't. Cecilia.
Yeah, well, I understand. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's a holy lady for
Sure.
sure. And I mean, it has. I'm this guy that I am because of all those things that happened, you know, and that's why Abra he can recadula saying no,
But I
maybe
wouldn't lie.
recadula
No, you're not fighting,
but
I get-
business. No.
Okay. We can chill at the pride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I studio.
yeah, no,
What about
studio? No.
What about a back-to-back set?
no.
Man, can't do Joan.
Aye, ba.
Yes. Yo. No, that's it. No, it's fine.
Oh, I told him. We tried, brother. He said no.
Okay, no phone in
Ask him that question. Does he think we can? Does he think we can win?
Woman in tech.
Sorry, cut that one. Okay, let's shift away from that. We've gotten our answers loud and clear. Let's speak on your personal journey in terms of being now back to Josiah. You know,
Josiah De Disciple.
you've just released an album. What is it?
Satori.
Hey, Satori. But before Satori, it was Gomorrah, no?
Yeah, before Satori, I dropped an EP called Sounds of Gomorrah. Volume
Sounds of
2.
Gomorrah. Yeah, Sounds of Gomorrah.
Sounds
yeah.
of Gomorrah,
Sure.
Volume 2, The Healer's Avenue.
Yes. Very spiritual kind of names. Is there a reason why? If not, you don't have to talk about it. Yeah.
It's just the way that I actually love to describe my music.
Sure.
You know, I believe I make that soulful, spiritual type of music. You know, and I try.
You're tapping back to your spiritual roots.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's essentially what I tried doing with Satori,
Sure.
which dropped on the 26th of April,
Tango.
guys.
Satori,
please go
26th of
get it.
April, it dropped. You
Please
know
go
the
get
story.
it. Every single DSP. Don't. There's platforms where you can stream music. You can get it at any point. Download offline. Let's support the brother, please. Don't pirate the music, please. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, with
Lady
that album,
Bookings also, please, man.
yeah, Lady Booking showcase,
Yeah.
man.
That's all.
Sure.
What does Satori mean?
It means awakening in Buddha, King language China. Mabuddha kimai.
Buddhists.
Yeah,
Somewhere in
Buddhist.
Asia.
Yeah.
In Buddhism.
Buddhism. Yeah.
I
And
think
it means
what do Buddhists? Sorry, I don't want to get this wrong. Women in tech.
Now
No
you make me
Buddha.
an asshole.
They speak what like. Because I think
Isn't
Buddha
Buddhism
the
a
monk.
religion?
What? You
Yeah,
know those
yeah,
Tibetan
right,
monks. They are
right,
Buddhas.
right.
And then there's also the Indian side, because those mountains I think are on the
Whoa.
Women in tech.
I said Asia.
It's a continent.
I said somewhere in Asia.
Buddhism. It is Buddhism.
Religion.
It's a
bro.
religion.
Man.
Like something you follow.
So what do
Man.
the Buddhas?
Babua.
The Buddha
Mabuddhas.
says, "Come across, I'm falling." Buddha falling. Buddha
Okay, so Satori meaning the meaning comes from the other one. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And I mean, I just want to actually just tell the fans that this type of style is kidding. It's the same as Body Spirits of Makwela, you know.
Okay.
But obviously, now that the sound has improved,
Sure.
we've tried adding more live elements.
Sure.
I mean, go studio right now, we have the luxury of just calling people who play
Sure.
piano
Artists,
properly,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Ha e sa le rona ba re ikeletsang, ko le.
Sure.
Ha le rona ne re
So,
ikeletsang.
so on the split sheet, there's no 20 names. Just you and the session artist got paid their money for the session. There's no. featuring.
No,
you can't even see all the names. One of these songs nowadays, you don't even know whose song it is. It's like there's the producer and then plus
20
15.
names, yeah.
Wa bona phela dipina tsa ke dipina tse re di etsa maybe ha re tswa groove ha re tswa mnate.
Sure.
You know, sometimes you just have that session where everyone is just vibing. Bro.
Sure.
The beat is nice and you're like, you know what, I feel like I can add something.
Sure.
And then you chip in.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and then
it's
you
also,
chip in, you
it's
know,
great and
and-
it's dangerous.
Ish.
Because I can say, Mfana, that kick that is everyone.
I was there.
I was the one. So it's actually I've got it right. Nah, I'm not
Yeah.
even. Some girl who was in. I'm just. There's nothing wrong with girls in studio. Okay, wait. Is there something wrong with girls in studio?
I
But
don't know.
anyways,
Is there?
there's a culture, but let's not get into that. Where someone just sits and says, "Hey, how about this thing? Kandi, that's the thing that's gonna make the song."
You know what?
And now you feel entitled to.
You like keep it honest.
Yeah.
There's sessions like that
Sure.
where you sit maybe le machita. Motho sa kgoneng go producer.
Sure.
A utlwa a itiare.
Ari, yeah.
Well, not added any.
Yeah, you know, we add an span.
Sure.
Then what happens after that? So I'm not saying decide
Sure. Eish, tricky.
So now,
Sure.
basically, you're saying, go to studio session, just try and have as little people as possible in that motherfucker.
I just
Communicate.
think communicate.
Communicate.
I think that's the most vital thing because right now we're at a place where hey, I want to piano. We are all in studio hoping that this song will make me.
Yes.
You know,
Sure.
and that's the battles thing at the qalada.
Sure.
Le wena o utlwa le wena hore verse ya ka e ke kentseng mo ya shisa
Yeah,
beat
sure.
no machita tshwanetse it's something ka
Yeah,
beat, you know,
yeah.
and you can't go into studio.
With that mindset.
No, you're supposed to talk, right? If you have an agenda, you must say it.
Sure.
So that we don't move funny
Sure.
after this. If we
Yeah.
move funny, then we
Then I
know,
know.
why.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking. Not for you, because obviously, Babo and we
No, well, he's
I'm asking because previously on the show, we've discussed how
Yes.
like everyone is searching for that fucking hit.
Break.
dog. Yeah, bo? And then the hit comes, and then they disappear. And then, yeah, about one hit type of thing, you know? So as a grootman, what is your take on the status of the game right now?
Actually, you know, and it's popular to these upcoming artists, you know, and I mean, we all really want a chance of more industry, but the one thing that they also really need to keep in mind is that once you're in, try and collaborate with other people, and that's how you keep your name relevant. You don't, I mean, you that one hit song, you span it has built something for you. You know? So, but just use that to get into other people's studios and see what you can create, you know. And I think very oftentimes that's what young people struggle to do. They think, okay, now that I did this one, I can do it alone again.
Yeah,
my brother. Not like you can't set into only one all the time. Sometimes you do need help. Disciple, so like for this album, Satori, I had to call people in. You know what? There's this big idea that I want to do, and
let's bring it to life.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's bring it to life.
For the upcoming artists, I mean, we know they've got fresh ideas in it, but also just after this big song, Shara momentum from okay, Josiah track grootman sheba maybe understand. Yeah, I mean, start making those kind of connections because it's not like we are also chilling and not listening to what these boys are doing.
Do you take those calls? Like, you know, like if Josiah calls, like whoever you're calling will answer. But now if I'm that up and coming artist with my track and my track is big on TikTok, are you going to take that guy's call?
Definitely.
Do they have those avenues to reach out to the seasoned producer?
Yeah, they can. I mean, for instance, me, I know I'm one guy that actually responds to DMs, especially from like other artists and producers, you know. Anytime. Anytime, my brother. Anytime. And I think with me, you know the type of style I make. You know.
Longevity.
Don't want to say it again, but... run that by.
So yeah, I mean, you know the type of style I make, so I can expect you to close anything, you know. But yeah, and Lintong, where I think maybe a link vital for like artists, vocalists. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, the vocalist.
No, there's some there's some dope ones, there's some crap ones, but I think it's a struggle because of how music is consumed nowadays. You make a song that would, last long, but because it has such a great high and a fast high, the drop is equally the same. By the time, I want to say by the time you've jumped onto the next song, it's like now either you don't have the range of, you know what I'm trying to
say it, PH.
No, it's like there's a lot of guys who don't have range. There's a lot of guys who you have one style, which makes necessarily expose your lack of knowledge of the space or depth, you know. You jump, then you box yourself into a cheesy sound. Then when you go into a studio session with Josiah, who's going to tell you, hey, I'm shyly, give me this kind of vocal range or give me this, you actually then struggle.
Flat, yeah.
You're flat.
Essentially, what you had, when you're at an event and the MC is saying cool shit, sure. And
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Those chants that happen, that's the sum total of your vocal range. Because everybody looks for that. Yeah. Because that's the hook.
Sure.
That's the thing that people sing along to.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yeah. Sure.
But hey, dude, that one is it's a very short walk.
Extremely.
Yeah, and I mean that's why sometimes also these guys, they just need to partner up with writers, you know.
Sure.
I
think there's a massive lack of that. Guys who are just good at writing, and I think across the board in this country, there's a few guys who I know good writers, but it's literally that thing, exactly what you said. Hey, nice chant, clappini.
Yeah,
nice chant, you know. And it's dope. It's cool for the streets, but if we're talking about again longevity and the things that are going to expand your brand, expand who you are, sustain you. I don't know. I don't know, but let's go back to your current offering. It's just released. Is there any plans of touring the property? Any international
definitely.
shows?
I think I did my first. 26 nearly, yeah. On the 26th, I actually did my album launch. On the same day, it dropped in my hood called Alexandra.
Sure.
And I'm planning to do more of those. I really just want to spread the album around.
You're taking it back.
Definitely. Definitely. Because Linda can take you those are the methods that actually work.
Sure.
You know. I'm kind of advanced, but not like that.
Sure.
You know, these methods have been proven time and time again that they work. Bro, you just have to be on the ground and just start running. Do your things, man. Do your tours, and it's something that I saw that it was actually starting to lack in Amapiano. But the tour Ling, it was popular at the deep house, other genres. Those guys used to like honor their albums, you know. And I also want to bring back that type of spirit to really respect this album.
I think I want to touch on that, and I think, you know, because guys just drop a song, there's minimal to no marketing budget. It's like, hey, we'll do a dance challenge on TikTok and whatever, you know.
That's the marketing budget. That's the plan.
That is the plan, and it works for, you know, certain songs. It works for quick consumption. With what you're doing, you go. And the thing about tours back in the day, and I think even now, it's like you go to these hoods. One, it's a form of income if you're owning the entire chain or the ecosystem. You know, you're building trust within that market. So if I'm going to Soweto, Mamelodi, Tanzania, you know, Kylie or whatever it is doing, it's a show about me. Firstly, you're owning the entire chain, and so you're making money, you're building trust, you're expanding your brand. What else are you doing? You know, as opposed to the things that are just like, hey, here's a link, go download it on Spotify.
But you're taking the music to the consumer.
Yeah,
Those are the people that you
and
want
there's
to download.
a big lack of that. Like, there's a massive lack of that. Yes, obviously times have changed, and you know, points of consumption, you know, are different. You know, and they vary. There's YouTube where you can do like a visual mix, or you can, you know, make that performance. But really, what's really missing is actually the interpersonal connection between artist and consumer.
Do you think it's maybe become too, like, because you mentioned earlier, like, you know, in the beginning, how you guys picked up things that were doing in hip hop. Do you think that it's also become a little bit too, what's the word? Like glamorized almost, you know, like, I want to be at a table with bottles.
In the north.
You know, I want to be in the north,
I don't think so, because of generally when you look at piano is, I mean, it's a township music.
Yeah.
So you can't really take it piano and then glamorize it like you Kenya with champagne, like if you look at it like that, then you are deviating away from what the piano lifestyle literally is. Because piano
cooler box.
Go mamela music, go vibe, I understand. Just to chanta, there ain't I understand. That's why maybe okashebali footage compared to now. Bro, people were just having a time of our life. Whether Mutuna, Henneken, or it wasn't about what you were drinking. It was just really, literally about the music.
And that's when songs lasted longer.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Sorry.
We're not making these. We're not drawing these conclusions. The correlation is undeniable. And internationally, Josiah, what do you think piano is doing? Are we going to see you also take the album internationally and take yourself internationally?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
definitely a punching.
I sing a punching, but
the sound that seems to be moving is like a watered down version of the essence that, you know, people like you create. So is there space there for that, or do you think that watered down version is what they'll just
there is a space for that. I mean, I've created a name for myself. So Home Beats or Josiah, you know what to expect, you know.
Join me, man.
And
what the hell? Josiah De Disciple.
And I mean, when we're speaking internationally, like countries like Botswana, Mozambique, I've got like quite strong relationships there, you know.
Moz is big on piano.
Yeah, very, 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 very,
and like the
big.
deeper sound.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I'm mentioning places like that, because of I feel like they're at a point where like they fully embrace piano regardless of how it sounds. You know, they've become a part of us. You know, and yeah, like Botswana. So I was actually looking at a tour for that side, because I mean I have gang fans that side, and that in 21 Momomokasi. I mean the tour really is more South Africa fella. I feel like it's you know. So I'm also trying to give it out there. Go like as I mentioned, Botswana. Because I mean, how about Botswana there? I mean, Kiki South Africa.
Great job.
Shout out bots.
So yeah, I'm actually looking at taking it there and just seeing really how it goes. And also, as you said, I mean, it's a way of building relationships and etc. You know. So I'm looking to have like a strong followership.
Any other projects planned for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna take out a deluxe album after this. but I'm just gonna add 3 more songs which I didn't add.
Okay.
There's a song called Examia Chola that people are asking about, you know.
So I was telling you exactly.
Go deeper.
Bang Herdile, boy.
Yeah.
Bang Herdile.
I have had time and I can say Pete with the vocalist in Africa now.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean it's gonna be pretty dope. I've got a song with DJ Stokes called Ndabezita that's also gonna come through, and it's literally on that spiritual tip, you know.
Dope.
And yeah, this is just me trying to push that spiritual sound. I mean, feast. What ling. So I think maybe it's high time that we actually try and bring it back to the music.
Yeah. Got you.
Did you hear that, Lighties? This man accepts DM, so you know what? Excuse me.
Sorry, man, it's not coming top of mind, but have you worked with Momo?
Sure. Maybe 20s.
Back then,
Yeah, back then. It was like Roshapadi instrumental, not recently.
No, because I put you guys, when it comes to the sound, I don't want to box you guys together. I'm just like, there's a bunch of the guys who were there originally who are still prevalent today, you know, who are still big brands and have fought the good fight. It would be nice to see a collab, or whether it's an EP, a project, a song, or whatever it is.
Something together.
You know,
And
together.
you mentioned, you know, work with other people.
Yeah, I mean, project like Kelvin, it's like a and I mean, it's things that I've been wanting to do since maybe 2 years back and 3 years back, you know. But obviously, we all get busy, and
when it happens, I want my
My man, hey, put something there.
I said, hey, percussion. Yeah.
It was my idea.
It was my idea.
I want my 50%.
Sure.
So yeah, those are like kind of the cool things that I'm expecting to do this year.
Okay.
More collaborations with other bigger guys.
Who would you like to collab
Who? I
with?
was about to ask.
Wish list, top 3.
Top 3. See if I can have a project with them Tuda. Yeah. That's like number 1.
Okay.
Maybe number 2, Mass Music.
Hey, man.
Yeah, like
Let me tell you something about both those names. I recently booked Mass in East London, and the guy who does our bookings was just like, yo, this guy outside of like his production, like this guy knows the story when it comes to playing. We booked him, I think a couple shows. There was a pre-party, after party, and the actual show
In East London.
And like he showed his grootmanness, if I want to say that, you know. Might be some short guy, whatever, but like he showed his range. He showed everything about the knowledge of the sound.
Yeah,
you know, and I was
yeah.
just like, man, yeah.
like he's really talented.
not a one-hit
He has-
wonder,
yeah,
yeah.
unali it's a rare music. That
Sure.
guy. So that's why I really put
Sure.
him out there.
Shout out, Mass.
And yeah, Mutwabi 3, Tlakbo. That person, difficult one.
Vocalist?
Vocalists.
Zonke.
Yeah, maybe Zonke.
Zonke.
Tandi Somazo.
Ooh, that would be dangerous. Yes.
There's this lady,
Tandi
Konjiki Man.
Somazai.
Remember the lady Nabina Tamandewel?
Oh, man.
Candy.
Yo,
Candy, ne?
you know what? Like how we told him, how we born and to please, assembly, let's do the right things.
Management.
Let's cook.
Management.
Let's cook.
Yeah.
Fonela Oskido.
Yeah, you know, boy, I got you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we must work together.
Okay.
It is what it is. Yeah. Shout out Grootman.
Grootman to Grootman. Maybe you must call him.
I wanna le razo le serious
Yeah,
le
too much,
Grootman
too much.
Actually, when hey Grootman fere.
Candy from Tamandebe. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like like she gave us just one, you know, and with her type of vocals, she can still do more, bro.
Sure.
So like I have done songs and I've imagined her voice on my songs, you know, and I feel like we can still do some magic together.
Getting back into get to know you, outside of you sitting in front of the call it laptop and producing, what inspires you? What are you currently listening to in terms of music in the car or when you're chilling at home? Are there any other sounds that you draw from in terms of, I don't know, you listen to R&B and, you know, I don't know, like the vocal range of whatever. What are you listening to currently?
Background I can have my tribal house, deep house, so that's what I actually really enjoy listening to. I listen to a lot of that, and I listen to a lot of that now. because I want to already sound city change. So
Sure.
that's what I do to try and refresh my mind. Because the ideas
Sure.
they were pure, they were raw.
Yes.
If you listen to the tribal music, we used a lot of percussions that time, And when you listen to piano, that's what we're doing now.
Sure.
So just to really mix it up a bit, I sometimes go back to like old music.
Take inspiration from those.
Exactly. And sometimes in fact, lucky, just when you are in that mood to make music, you get into the studio, Kenya kick, Kenya shaker,
Sure.
then you just hear something, Kenya body drum, put in some loops, and you just literally hear. I mean, you just see where the direction goes from there. And sometimes you draw inspiration from other people's songs. You listen to maybe like for them two that
Sure.
These chords. Yeah, these chords are nice.
Okay.
Let me try and change them, maybe reverse them. Instead of playing them the way another thing, you will play them around,
Sure.
And it's essentially that. That's what Barking, the producer thing,
Sure.
we do that.
Let me ask, given the opportunity, or if you could, would you play another genre? Or if you're like, hey, I want to book you for a tribal set, would you firstly produce that, and would you play it like if I booked you, if I was Shims and I booked you at Kunya? I'm just making an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd produce it
Management.
and play. I'd produce it and play it. I'd produce it and play it.
Do you currently do that stuff? No.
Yeah, not much of it.
Okay.
There's a song that a beat that I did with Takapo. He still needs to finish that, So I've been on him. When is our song coming out? Travel really fast,
Sure.
But it's one of the collaborations that I started back then. I mean, the relationships I started back then when I was, I mean, I think Pinaya Mama. People of other genres started coming in.
That remix, man, what a.
Oh yeah.
What a remix. Okay.
It was a beautiful remix.
Trying to think, man. Yeah, I'm happy. I know him now.
Yeah, and we know the story now.
We know the story.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it is not. No.
Out of the question.
Would there be no? Melty, where can we find you on bookings? What are your booking details?
Contact number 061-482-9644.
For bookings only, please.
For bookings only. 061-482-9644.
Sure, don't call. It's not him there.
Yeah. I seen none of it.
It's not him there. Please. But man, go out and get the project. It's dropped. It's called
Satori. And I mean, if people want the tour in the hood, I mean, shout out, guys. You can go to DM, I'll formulate lineup and I'll come through.
You can speak to me. I can organize
let's do it.
Yeah, this one is just trying to get some sort of royalty.
I'm a businessman. So much
Josiah, thanks.
I'll come put something. Do you have a place in mind?
Yeah?
You have a place in mind? Tons.
Get us sponsors. We can rock.
Let's rock.
You Owens, huh?
Oh, man.
My man, I was sitting here in this chair, so I want to No, just put my name on the
I was there.
My name is on the title of the podcast.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to do a lot of that to impact the album.
Sure. All right, bro.
So it would be really helpful.
Shout out. Thank you very much for your time. It's been an honor having you here, Warwick.
Yes, and we'll check it out. Thanks, my boot.
I know go fella.
And thanks for being honest.
Yeah. Shout out.
Because I understand that the impact it's into but
sure.
Both ends. Sighting like
Sure. There's three sides to a story. Your version, mine, and the truth.
We'll have him on the show
next week. I'm joking. Yo, it's called the Shady Podcast. My name is Shady. He's podcast.
With the PH.
And I'm there.
The Shady Podcast. There you have it. Hit us up on the socials. We appreciate all the comments, man. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the streets. Thank you for the love. Next week is another
take
episode.
it easy. If it's easy, take it home.
Forgive volume. Boy, thank you.
Hey, there.